It's a very special day for you, and I'm extremely happy and honored to be here to give this very privileged convocation address for you. My job is to speak, and before I speak, I would like to say something about the art of listening. Today being a special day, normally we don't listen to speeches, but today we might. A great Indian master has said how to listen. He said there are 3 levels of listening. The lowest level of listening he calls is kutuhal. What is he going to speak about? Your curiosity may be fulfilled, but nothing more. The next higher level of a listener is called a jignasa. For a great medical college like this, for people like you, it is possible they have called a speaker who's giving some newer information. So you will come to see what is that I can learn. You come from level 2 of a listener. But this great Indian master, 5,000 years ago, has said the most powerful and the highest level of a listener is called a mumukshu. And what are the qualities of a perfect listener? Normally, when we speak, when we listen, our mind will evaluate, our mind will judge. It will say this is good, this is not so good. It is said as long as we are evaluating information, we are still not good listeners. Small children are very good listeners because they don't have a background information to compare or contrast. For a few minutes now, I will request you to be like small children. Not like the doctors with the loaded information. Come with an open mind. If you come with an open mind, there is a potential not just to be informed, there is a potential to be transformed. As doctors, we learn most from our patients. And be very, very sensitive when you are in the presence of a patient. Every patient will tell you what human suffering is when you see them going through disease, when you see them going through disease, and when you see them going through disability. As a neurosurgeon, we see one of the most serious type of brain cancers, serious head injuries and spinal cord injuries, and we see people with lot of disabilities and a potential to death because they are suffering from a brain cancer. Friends, each of our patients teach something very important that we normally take for granted. Whenever we see a sick person, a dying person, the message they give us is how lucky we are. We have the gift of health. Have you not realized only when you have a toothache, you remember you have teeth? Only when you have a headache, you remember you have a head? Only when some part of your body is afflicted with disease, you realize the value of that part of the body. Friends, when you see patients suffering, the message is, I'm so blessed to be on the other side. I'm in a hospital, but I'm not like a patient. I'm like the doctor now. I have the skills to help these people. And therefore, on this graduation day, I would like to tell you what the same great Indian master has said. Whenever you feel so lucky, whenever you feel so blessed, the next thing is how I can make the most of my life. Think for this moment. Today I am a graduate. I have got 30, 40, 50 years of medical service. And as a doctor, can I make a commitment today? I will give the very best of my abilities and my professional abilities to serve the people that I am blessed to serve. A great Indian master has said, this will help you to develop what is called a purpose in life. All of us, before we die, have got 3 debts or 3 rinas to fulfill. Who has done the most for you? Who has done the most for you? At this moment, you will certainly think of them. And many of them have come to see you on this very special occasion. Your parents. You know, your parents have given you so much. My question to you is it possible to repay for your parents what they have done for you? This is one debt which is essentially unfulfillable. You cannot do for your parents what they have done for you. But this great Indian master has said there is a way out. And you know what is the way out? What is the greatest music for your parents? If someone can say how lucky your parents are that they have a daughter or a son like you, isn't it? I want you to make this commitment in your life. In your computer, in your workplace, in your study room, keep a picture of your parents and say, like what Indians are taught. I know we have people from other countries also, but Indians are taught this. Can you repeat after me? Because your parents are also here. Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Begin every day with a feeling of, I am receiving the blessings of my mother, my father, and my teachers, and whatever I am today, I am because of the blessings of these three people. And I make my commitment that I am going to be something extraordinary as a way to repay my debt. And someday somebody may say, so lucky your parents are that they have a daughter or a son like you. Second debt is called Lokarina. Lokarina means your commitment or your contribution to society. Society has made you a doctor, isn't it? All the patients in your hospital, and so many teachers and so many people have helped you to become a doctor. Now your determination will be, more than what the society has given me, let me give to society. Can I shift from being a consumer to a contributor? And this does not happen at a later stage. Every day in my life before I sleep, let me see, have I given more today than what I have received? And if you follow an Indian pattern, all of us work very hard. An Indian dictum is what is called, just don't do karma, don't do your work, but make your work karma yoga. When does your karma become yoga? Work becomes worship when you treat your patient like God. If your patient, a small child has come, let me treat this like infant Jesus or Bala Gopala. Kabir used to say, Kabir was a tailor, and when somebody would come to him and he would measure him, he says, my Ram has come to me, my Lord has come to me. Now, if I'm able to treat each patient of mine like God, then what I am doing is not karma, but karma yoga. My work becomes what is called Ishvara Arpana Bhava. As doctors, we want to make money, we want to become rich, we want to become famous. But every act of yours will get dividend, will get some benefit for you. Now, how do we receive this benefit? How do I receive the payment that I get for my service? And that is called prasada yoga. Now, when you go to a place of worship, they will give you some prasada. How do you receive the prasada? With great reverence. You feel so grateful that you have got it. When you have got prasada, you will not see how much Dr. Shiv Shankarappa has got. He's the chairman, he's getting more, I'm getting less. You're not going to make any comparison. You don't say Tirupati Laddu was better than this. Never compare what you get. And this is what is called prasada buddhi. Doctors are unhappy not because of the salaries they take. They are unhappy because somebody else is getting more. And therefore, the key to happiness is karma yoga. And karma yoga is called Ishvara Arpana Bhava. Treat my patient as if God has come before me. And whatever is the remuneration I get, some people pay more, some people pay less. Some institutions pay more, some institutions pay less. But whatever I get is like prasada. And if I do Ishvara Arpana Bhava and Prasada Bhava, I will do Karma Yoga, and the second Runa I can fulfill. Friends, when you become doctors, when you become postgraduates, after some time a subtle ego, a subtle arrogance will become, I am a specialist. And when you become a specialist, so many people will be waiting for you. And you will feel tired, and sometimes you don't want to see those people. A subtle arrogance will come. Let arrogance never come. Arrogance is the greatest danger for a doctor. When arrogance comes, you become egoistic. You know what the word ego stands for? edging God out. From today, you will be free from ego. I will give you 2 examples of people who are egoless. One great example is the example of Muhammad the Prophet. You know, the greatness of Muhammad was his simplicity, was his ordinariness. One day, the angel Gabriel comes to Muhammad and says, recite. He says, what can I recite? I am not a man of letters to recite. So the angel says, that is why you have been selected. Recite. He goes home and tells his wife, either I've gone mad or have become a poet, because the entire Quran, and Quran is beautiful poetry, comes out of the lips of a person not well versed in reading and writing. This is the truth, friends. The more ordinary you are, extraordinary things will happen to you, because you are egoless. You are not blocking. You are a free channel. You are able to download higher forces. Second example. You know who is Krishna's wife? I know he had many wives. If you can name one, Radha is his childhood friend. Rukmini, Krishna's wife, had one major problem which a modern day wife has with her husband. You know what is the most common complaint a modern day wife has with her husband? You're not spending enough time with me. It's the same complaint Rukmini had with her husband. You're not spending enough time with me. You're spending more time with what? With your flute. Today your flute is your mobile telephone. So the direct question Rukmini had to Krishna is, what is there in the flute that I do not have? And Krishna replies, the flute is so empty. You got it? When you become empty of the ego, when you become a nobody, you become a channel for him to express through you. You know, that Saint Francis has said so beautifully, make me a channel of your peace, a channel of your love. And all doctors should say now, make me a channel of well-being and health. Anybody who comes to you will go empowered, feeling good, feeling healthy, because you are now radiating the blessing of God, because you are egoless and you become a channel to express godliness. We come to the third and the last debt, which is the most difficult debt, and that is called Acharya Rina, and that is the debt to all your heads of department and all your teachers who have made you a doctor. What is the greatest joy your teachers can have if you excel in life and if you can grow to your highest potential? Years from now, you have to come back to JJM Medical College with your laurels, having done something extraordinary like a Nobel Prize or something. You know, not all can get a Nobel Prize, but each one can bloom to your highest flowering. And what is your highest flowering? Let me tell you a story. If you understand the story, you will understand your true greatness. Somewhere near Bangkok, there was a temple in which there was a huge clay statue of Buddha. And because the temple was being renovated, the statue had to be moved from one place to another. In the process, the statue breaks, and to their amazement, they discover it is not an ordinary clay statue of Buddha, but a golden statue of Buddha. The story was, when they actually made a golden statue, their concern was how to protect so much gold, and because they did not have the means to protect it, somebody said, for the time being, we'll cover it with clay so that nobody knows it is a golden statue. But then it was such a closely guarded secret. When they died and their followers died, they had forgotten that in this temple they had a golden statue of Buddha. Now, what is the message for us? In each one of us, there is a golden Buddha waiting to be manifest. When people look at you, we look very ordinary, and this ordinary is my body and my mind. My body and mind, friends, is ordinary, but there is somebody embodied within this body and mind. The more you discover, I'm not just this body and mind. This body and mind is only an instrument to express the real great you, the embodied, which is waiting to be expressed. And how do you do it? At this moment, I want you to declare your greatness. Mark these words. You are already that which you can possibly be. Greatness does not happen in the future. Greatness happens at this moment when you declare that I am here for extraordinary accomplishment. I am not ordinary. You know, during the time of Christmas, a lot of people put up stars in their homes. You know why they put up stars? What happened when Jesus was born? There was a special star in the sky to indicate somebody so great as Jesus was born. And Jesus proved it because from his birth, we have the whole history as before Christ and after Christ. Friends, this is just not rhetoric. I want to ask you a direct question. What happened on the night you were born? Was there a special star in the sky to indicate your birth? Think and answer, yes or no. Yes or no? Yes. Louder? Yes. Even louder? Yes. You are special. There was a special star to indicate your birth. You are born to the right family. You are studied in the correct medical college. You have come to the right time. Friends, it's time to declare your greatness very silently to yourself, not in public, very silently. And over the years, through your daily work, through your studies, I want you to manifest your greatness. Friends, imagine whatever, the sky is your limit. Every creation happens twice. First, this moment, it happens in your mind. Create your future. See who you're going to be. Dream big. Dream the impossible. Our former President APJ Abdul Kalam wanted young people to always dream big because things happen twice. First in your mind and then in reality. Now once you dream big and you believe that I can make it happen, it will happen. I'll conclude with a story. This is a story of the dream of 3 trees. It is the tree's dream. You also can dream. One tree was sharing its dream. There were 3 trees on the mountain top, and when the wind would blow, they would share their dreams. One tree says to another, one day when I'm cut down, I would like to be a baby's cradle. The second tree says, one day when I'm cut down, I would like to be a huge ship sailing in the high seas. The third tree said, I'm right in the top of the mountain. I don't want to be cut down. I want to remain here pointing towards God. Friends, imagine if trees can dream, you also can dream. I want you to dream, whether in basic sciences or in clinical sciences, how you can excel and how you can contribute to society. Now, once you have made a dream, share your dream with close and important people, because when you share your dream, there is a greater possibility that your dream will come true. Now, when the woodcutters were cutting the first tree, they were talking of making it into a cowshed. The tree said, please don't make me a cowshed. I want to be a baby's cradle. They said, you have no choice. They made it into a cowshed. And when the infant Jesus was born, they had to hide him in that manger. And the tree said, my God, this is better than my best dreams. When the woodcutters came to cut the second tree, they were talking of making it into a fishing boat. The tree said, please don't make me a fishing boat. I've always dreamed of being in the high seas as a big ship. They said, you have no choice. They cut it down and made it into a fishing boat. And a fisherman called Simon Peter bought that boat. Jesus sailed on that boat. And the tree said, my God, this is better than my best dreams. When the woodcutter came to cut the third tree, they were talking of making it to a cross. The tree said, a cross? A thing of shame on which people die? I don't want to be a cross. Please allow me to be here pointing towards God. They said, you have no choice. They cut it down, made it into a cross. Jesus was nailed on that cross, and a cross all over the world is a symbol that leads people to God. If trees can dream and they can surpass your dream, what about these brilliant students from JJM Medical College? I wish you all the best. May you surpass your dreams.